Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video, we are going to rank the Week 1 Master Set players for the Gallery of Greats event. We're also going to talk about the best ways to take advantage of all of the free stuff that EA is giving you from this event via the objective. On top of that, I'll give you my tips and tricks to prepare for the upcoming Week 2 of this event, where it looks like we're going to get some jacked up Ultimate Master Set player, and I'll talk about that in the video. Let's get into it. So if you watch my other video, then you know, but the 5 Master Set players that have come out in Week 1, if you collect all of them, all 5 of the 82 overall version, on top of the Week 2 5 Master Set players, so 10 in total, you'll be able to get this Ultimate Power-Up player that will be revealed on November 9th. Now, you are going to need all 10 of these. Now, don't fret, it's not that expensive. All you need to do is get the 82 overall version. If you've been watching my past video, you can get 3 for free, and then the other 2 you can cash in via set. So every Master Set player can be made for 1 Gallery of Greats event collectible, and again, you will get 3 for free. Now, for the remaining 2, what you can do is go into the Gallery of Greats collectible sets and just buy one of the 84 overall players on the market for about 7,000 coins. So each one will be about 3,500 when you divide by 2. That will get you the remaining 2 for this week. I went ahead and did this immediately because I know that no matter what, I'll have to buy a card or make 2 more collectibles if I want to collect all 5 anyways. It's better to do this immediately so that you can just throw these cards in your lineup so that you can start getting games played towards the other objectives. So I went and bought an 84 for about 7,000 coins, and I got my 2 collectibles. Now, these are repeatable, so don't worry. You don't have to worry about not cashing in Alex Ovechkin. I made Ovechkin, obviously, because I think he's one of the best Master Set players that we've gotten all year. But the other tip I would give you is make Patrick Waugh first, because even if you don't use him, you can throw him in your backup slot, and that will count towards games played, and he never sees the ice. The other option, in my opinion, would be Sergei Gonchar, simply because even at like 82 overall, you can put him on your third pair, and he's somewhat passable. And then obviously Ovechkin is just extremely good. You can just power him up all the way while you're getting the objective. Before we get into the objectives, let me show you exactly what I did. Like I said, I powered Ovechkin all the way up. I will go and make another collectible to get another 82 overall Alex Ovechkin so I can trade him in next week. But even for the cost, you essentially will lose a couple collectibles no matter what, because it costs 2 to get to the tier 5 and tier 6. So when you refund that, you only get half back, meaning you'll only get 1 collectible back. This Ovechkin card is going to be used for probably a solid month or 2. Now, this is one of the first like individual custom build cards. I talked about this on my channel years ago with Kesso, and we came up with a whole system about how to implement builds in Hockey Ultimate Team. And the one thing I really like about this is that this Alex Ovechkin card more reflects his rookie seasons, like his early on years. He's a lot faster. His defensive awareness and defensive stats are brutal. And while his shot is very good in the 90s, his hand stats are really good as well. And he's got puck on a string to reflect, obviously the Arizona goal. But Gold Unstoppable Force makes this card incredible because he's so big, which is, again, going to help out a lot of players that are in Division 1 and 2. But even more with the lower division players where you're playing end-to-end a lot, 90 speed is great. So we jacked up Alex Ovechkin, and then what I did was, for Sergei Gonchar, when you go to tier 2, it'll cost you 10,000 coins. Now, again, when you refund it, you'll get half back. I don't intend to keep using Sergei Gonchar. I'm just using him to complete the objectives. I used him during Hut Champs, and he was fine. I got his tier 3 and tier 4 because they cost 1 power-up collectible, meaning that when I go to cash in Sergei Gonchar and I refund all the tiers back, I'll get my collectibles back. You're renting the upgrade. So you can go to 85, it costs you 5,000 coins, and you can use a very good card while you're playing the game so that you're not, just struggling. If you're using squad battles or anything like that, go ahead, that's fine. But if you're playing rivals and champs, 5,000 coins to rent out a pretty good card, there's no problem. And then again, in net, we've got the GOAT, but then in the backup, we've got Patrick Waugh, and that counts towards games played, meaning that no matter what right now, I'm getting 3 for the Master Set player items that are in my lineup, on top of the free Gallery of Greats card that I got Nick Lidstrom. All right, so let's talk about potentially one of the best things EA's done all year. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say it definitely is. If you complete 25 games, they will give you a random Gallery of Greats player item. Now, my man Thrash, he was all over this early on. There's a very easy way to get 25 games done in like 8 minutes, and it's via Hut Moment. Why this pack is so amazing is because of the contents and there only being 1 week of cards available. The reason why I was pretty rattled about the Lindstrom pull, well, one, I already had his power-up icon, but regardless, Tim Horton you can only get via Hut Rush. Brad Park you can only get via a specific objective. Same with Stan Mikita, meaning that this pack's content is Eric Lindros, Nick Lidstrom, Martin Brodeur, and Gretzky and Lemieux. There's only 5 cards in there, and doing this pack nets you a 40% chance of getting Mario and Gretzky. That's simply unbelievable. And even if you do get Martin Brodeur, I apologize, at least you get a free 86 overall. And again, you could throw him in your backup slot or just use him for squad battles or whatever, and you're getting double the games. But still, pack is one of the most beneficial things, especially for free-to-play players. Now, if you haven't caught Thrash's video, link is down below, and make sure you go show him some love. If you go over to Hut Moments, this is how you get those objectives done very quickly, the 25 games played. Because it doesn't give you a specific mode, moments count. So there's a couple ways to do this. You can do this with any moment that starts in overtime, but because the Patrick Waugh one starts in overtime, if you load into it and you get to this screen, if you click in L3, for the position lock, you can choose whatever position you want, but if you hit square or X on Xbox, it'll clear your position lock, meaning that you're just playing a normal game. Then what you do is simply pull the goalie by hitting L1 and select, or the pad on the PlayStation 5, you'll pull your goalie and just run right back and throw it in the net. The great part about this is that you can just retry the moment. You don't have to go back out into the menus and come back in, and it just started again. This took like 10 minutes. You'll get all your 25 games done, and hopefully you'll pull Mario Regrets. Now, the remaining objectives is simply games played and cumulative things like scoring goals with them. But once you've got a few of the Gallery of Greats player items in your lineup, this will take less time. If you want to just blow through it, put as many in your lineup that you can. Go into squad battles, rookie 2-minute periods, and you can blow through the game. Easy peasy. All right, so let's rank the 5 Master Set players from week 1. This is going to be for competitive play, for players that want to know what are the best Master Set players to use in game. Again, please always use your favorite player. Only one person is going to win the NHL 24 World Championship. I hate to break it to you. It's not you. Stop worrying about that. But if you want to improve your team the most, this is the order that I'd recommend. Coming in at number 5 is the 87 Megan Keller. 5'11", 165 with two-way defenseman. Now, her attributes are actually pretty good. 89 speed, acceleration, great endurance, an okay shot. Defensive awareness can get up to 95 with two-way defenseman, and she's got 85 body checking. The issue is that she's only 165. It's very hard to knock anyone off the puck, and as we get further and further into the game, the bigger players that have good skating, like one we're going to see later on in this video, it's extremely dependent on their weight as well as their body checking stat and everything like that. So while I think Megan Keller is a half-decent card, it's essentially like a left-handed version and a slightly slower Cale Makar. I just don't think the cost is worth it. I think there are just better options. Number 4 is the 87 Patrick Waugh. I'd recommend never investing a lot of coins in a goaltender unless you're absolutely hut rich. Now, I will say that a lot of people in my community have said that this Patrick Waugh card is pretty good. But again, for the cost, I think that there are way better options. He's got 89 speed, which is the most important stat for goaltenders, and 60 aggression, meaning that he's not going to come way out of the crease, meaning that you can just kind of go around him. The bonus here is that he gets speed boost and accelerator boost. Synergies are very hard to activate this year, and they're not worth chasing because they are so difficult to activate, meaning that you're really going to have to sewer your lineup and just kind of fit things in that you don't really want. Patrick Waugh is a half-decent goaltender, but it really doesn't matter when you spend 10,000 coins and you can get Jacob Markstrom. Phil Esposito comes in at number 3. I've had a few people actually say this card is pretty good. An 86 speed, 85 acceleration is still fine right now. We're so trapped in to the fact that if they don't have like 93 skating, they're not good. 86 speed will still keep up with the majority of the cards that we're playing with right now. A lot of people are forgetting that progression was hammered, meaning that we're not going to see like 90 overall cards from an event until like, probably maybe even February. It looks like it's going up +1 each month. And if that's the case, 86 speed is still fine. Will he get outpaced very quickly? Yes, probably by the next event or even week 2. But his shot and balance at 92 is actually half decent. He's got 86 faceoffs, which is okay. It's a really cool Phil Esposito card. Close quarters has lost its big advantage because it was nerfed quite a bit. And at 8 ability points, obviously that's very expensive. They did nerf tip shots as well. It's much harder to score them. Big tipper is so fun though that it might be worth using. Again, I think this is more of a fun card than it is anything else, but he checks in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is the 87 Sergei Gonchar, offensive defenseman and shooting boost. Makes his shot pretty elite, and Gold Seeing Eye has proven to be pretty effective so far early on in the game. In my opinion, I think you have to activate Stick 'em Up simply because his body checking is at 76. It's very hard to bump people off the puck and knock them free with Sergei Gonchar. I've used him so far during my Hut Champs run. However, if you have Stick 'em Up and you actually just use the Poe check, he's quite impactful on the defensive side of things. He's 6'2", 210, which is good size and good skating as well. I just think that for anyone that has Brian Leetch, I probably would avoid this card because he's essentially just a little bit worse version of Brian Leetch. And then number 1 it's obviously Alex Ovechkin. They went above and beyond with this card. I love it. The custom build, the gold zone ability, even the synergy with Sniper Forward, which is one of the easier ones to activate because there are quite a few snipers, which makes his shot that much better. They made his defensive awareness 80, meaning that he's not intercepting anything, but honestly, who is if you're manually controlling the players? It just doesn't happen in NHL 24. Really fun card. Love using him so far. If you're in Division 1 and 2 especially, being able to hold everyone off the puck with gold unstoppable force and a 238-pound Alex Ovechkin, his shot's still automatic. This one is a without a doubt make and throw your power-up collectibles into without having any worry. You get 5 for free from this event. It costs 6 to get them all the way to 87. I would totally do it. Last thing I want to touch on is Mario and Gretzky. Obviously, you can't really choose who you got if you did get one of them from the pack, but this Mario Lemieux card is just simply incredible. Gold Unstoppable Force. He's 6'4", 230. Born Leader is one of the better abilities in the game because of how it impacts full pressure and being able to get a lot of energy back. And Silver Close Quarters, I think, is better in this game because it is an animation-based ability, meaning that you'll be able to catch any shot on its edge and just throw it in the net with full power. However, you don't really need to activate it. His shot's so good. He's got great speed and acceleration, good endurance, and even though he's got 77 body checking, he's 6'4", 230. One of the best cards in the game right now. Now, Wayne didn't get the same amount of love because Off the Rush and Third Eye are almost completely useless abilities. Elite Edge is fantastic, but it loses its advantage as the game goes along. This is a great card, though. This is a almost mirror image of the Heritage Classic McDavid card. Just goes to show you how good that card was. But still, you're extremely lucky if you were to pack him. I do want to mention for anyone that is complaining because they have Mario or Gretzky and they have their power-up icon and now they can't do anything with it, stop complaining. Obviously, there's a small section of the player base that isn't going to take full advantage of that pack because you've got Gretzky and Mario. Let the rest of us have some fun. You know, you've had the best cards in the game, and they're still going to be far worth it because these cards won't upgrade. But I just saw some comments, and I'm just like, man, the entitlement. That's going to do it for me today, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.